go to the schools for the individual counseling, we would continue to do that, but we see a need to expand those services so that we can be more successful in treating students.
In that scenario, expanded services for two different needs, who would be responsible for the transportation costs for the students to get to the facility?
That's been an interesting situation because technically, the district would be responsible for the transportation costs. However, when DBH provided the service, most parents transported their children, because I would expect most parents want to be there when their child is in counseling and have the opportunity to be able to talk to the counselor. So we did have instances where we paid for transportation, but they generally were not that common. Most parents chose to transport their children.
I have a request, I guess. Based on the way that the item has kind of gone, where we really haven't presented the item and there's been a lot of questions, I don't know if any of you have any questions as to the distribution. There's some changes. What's been provided to you was what was given at the financing the program, and the actual whole item has changed a little bit, and if you want me to present what some of the changes are to make you more aware of and clarify a few things, that I don't know if you would like that or not. I just want to give you the opportunity if you desire to do that.
I'd like to hear more because from my program person to the emails that have gone out, and going back, it would be nice to hear what the most up-to-date information is.
I can give from the financial.
Yeah, from the financial perspective.
Okay, from the financial perspective, the first sheet that we have here, this is a summary of the net health dollars that have been allocated. As you can see, you got the handout at your desk today, correct?
And they got it in there.
Okay. And I think the biggest change on the front sheet, and I can go through the next sheet for you a little bit, but the change in the item, which I want to clarify, it does not include any increases for any staff. The only staff that there's any kind of an increase for, not an increase, well, it would be an increase, is additional days for one of our office specialists. That's for the support, basically, the residential piece. And then there's one FTE as an office specialist to support the counselor, so that's kind of on the counselor page. So those are the only items that have any kind of an increase for any of our staff.
And that increase for those days, it's at the per diem of your name.
Correct, correct. So if we kind of go to the second page, I'll kind of show you the way I built the budget so you can have an idea of what the expenses actually would be. We took a look at the fee for service. So this is the fee for service for 10-11. And they increased the fee for service by 25%, and that's based on the number of new referrals that we already have, and we have already begun serving those students with the referral process. So that's how we got the increase actually in the number of students, which that is what is supporting the increase in the counselor staff that are on an hourly basis, kind of as needed type contracts that we have with them. If we kind of quickly go, and I kind of want to go through this quick, unless you want more detail, I can go into it a little bit more for you. On the next page where it says self-counseling staff, on the top part, this is basically our certificated staff. So these are our clinical counselors, and we have our psychologists. Where there's been some confusion as to salaries and benefits, and there's some questions on different things. And I kind of want to clarify. The salaries for all of our employees, whether they're employees or they're, well, not the hours, whether they're classified or they're certificated, it includes their actual salaries plus 8 furlough days for management, and it includes 5 furlough days for classified staff. The benefits that are included in the salary and benefits, and I put them all together. And I think for a lot of you, it's you're real familiar with this, but I just kind of want to clarify. The health and welfare are for medical, dental, and vision. And then there's statutory benefits, which is Medicare, the state unemployment insurance, workman's comp, and then either STRS, PERS, retirement, or FICA. So those are the items that are included in salaries and benefits. At the time that this is put together, we can break it down into what salaries and what benefits are. And then, if you take a look where it says the WSMH, what that is our management code for this particular budget. So that kind of stands for the WESELPA mental health. So that's basically the FTEs for that. So all of our counselors on the top, if you were looking at the top section, which are the certificated ones, they're full-time employees at 185 days. That's how they're contracted, but we all have to remember that there's 8 furlough days that each one of those have been, their salaries and benefits have been adjusted for that. So we have a total of 6.3 certificated employees. And then we go to the bottom section there, we have our classified employees. Some of them are behavioral health counselors. If you take a look at the 2 new ones, where it says new short-term, those are not included on the right-hand side because we have not hired those employees at this point in time. Currently, the staffing that we have, if you take a look at the next 3 staff, the next 3 behavioral health counselors, which is identified instead of a position number, I've identified that they're hourly employees and the number of hours that they work a week. And their salaries are calculated through the rest of the year and put into this budget. If you take a look at the next 3, which is, without going by names, the next 3 that have position numbers, those have actually, they were initially hourly employees, short-term employees, that after they've worked so many days, they need to go into a full-time position. So we now have those 3 employees that are full-time positions with a full caseload for them. The next item was the new office specialist that I talked about that supports directly the counseling positions for all of those counseling services that are provided. We have a paraeducator that is tied in with a psychologist on the top, and again, that's I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. The office specialist is full-time for in the counseling area, and then the paraeducator is 50% to mental health, and then we have a student worker, which is full-time, which is minimal hours at this point in time. So what I've done with this is what kind of feeds into the fee-for-service type expenses for our counseling services for mental health services. If we jump to the next page, this identifies the support. And so this is where I want to make sure that you have a change. This item was presented as back in the past with the here, and I'll let you know what the changes are. So if you take a look, basically they're working the same way. If we take a look at, say, Joan Myers, for example, she's the first one here. What this 25% is, 0.25 under the WSNH, that is reallocating her FTEs from where she's currently funded to 25% is going to be in the mental health funding. So that's the same way for each of the employees. All of these employees are already fully funded either through the XPOT, the regional services, or the current fee-for-service. If we go down a little bit further, if you go to the consultant, that consultant is the salaries and benefits on that is changed because it's a fiscal analyst 2 position. The annual salary and benefits for that is $94,480. With the 25% going to mental health would be the $23,620. And then the only other change there is on the office manager, we changed the position title to administrative assistant. The annual salary and benefits changes to $77,760. And then the mental health portion for 25% of that is the $19,440. So I wanted to clarify that these positions have all been funded in our other funding sources, and we're moving and aligning our staffing so they're funded according to what they're actually doing, since we have this new mental health money and we're going to be working on these mental health services.
So you're multi-funding
Correct.
these positions?
Correct.
And from the information I have, I don't see pay raises.
No, there are
That's correct. There are none.
I don't see positive benefit changes.
That's correct.
And
There's some
No, that's what I just, maybe I didn't clarify this enough. Let's look at my position, my name. It's identified here as consultant. I'm not a consultant. Originally, I'm asking to change that to a fiscal analyst too, because what is going forward, what Joan has presented to come forward, is to not make those changes at this point in time. So I'm making the dollar changes to reflect.
I guess I'm a little slow. What's your current title?
I'm a fiscal analyst too.
You're a fiscal analyst
So
too,
change
okay.
consultant to fiscal analyst too.
Okay, and then if I look at the salary and benefits, the current salary and benefits for whatever, I don't know what step to call them, how that works.
Right.
Is the current number here, the 127?
Yeah.
No.
94.
It's 94,480.
So, if it's currently 94, and I look at 127, and people are telling me there isn't a compensation increase.
No,
That's what she's
that's
saying.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is inaccurate.
Oh,
This is
okay.
inaccurate, I'm saying
All right.
change where it says
Gotcha.
consultant and change the dollar amount.
Okay, thank
And
you.
So the net change
So
in
it's a
that,
little slow.
No, you're not.
Why didn't we get updated information?
Why is it inaccurate?
Well, yeah, that's.
Well, we presented this to PAC and FAC because I think, as you recall, when we last met in September, it was asked because there was a consensus between PAC and FAC that we would bring it back again. We presented it to PAC and FAC again, and on the issue of the change of positions from fiscal analyst to consultant and from administrative assistant to office manager, there were still two FAC members who could not support that. And so that was taken out of the item presented to you today. And so, the backup was draft more of a concept.
No, I agree, I would second that.
Okay, I want to make a motion to table this because for a range of reasons, and I want to be respectful for everybody's time, that we table this for our next meeting in January.
And that with that motion, was your motion that the CAC, FAC, and PAT, all three, get the same information that we're gonna see?
I would, thank you, yeah, please add that.
And I would second that.
And
Accurate information to be presented to all three.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, are there any further comments or questions?
I'm not sure if we can do this or not, but there's a CAC meeting on January 10th.
Yes.
So this would go to present at that meeting.
Yes.
So it would be on the agenda. So I don't know if we can require that if it's on the agenda but fails to get discussed, it can still move forward for our action in our next meeting.
That's really the question I asked earlier. I think we need to know, maybe get some legal advice on that, because I think if the administration is attempting to bring information forward and do some changes of the agenda or whatever is happening, or the presentation is being stopped, I don't know what the process would be in moving forward. It just says they have to review, and I don't need to know that has to be yeah, I'll just say regular scheduled CAC meeting. Well, you will. We'll try it again, and maybe along that way, we can get some legal counsel with that question.
I have just a quick question, I just wanted to clarify that the dollars that have been deposited, they just stay there because we don't have any way to distribute the funds, they just sit there.
You don't have
So-
allocation line. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions or comments? All in favor? Aye.